It's been a long day talking about STRs in Telluride's town council. Of course, it hasn't just been a long day. It's been a long few years, if we're being honest. But happily, we are coming to the tail end of this conversation. So I'm actually excited to be giving this update today. A very important vote took place. Decisions are being made. We're moving forward. So here we go. Here is where we stand on short-term rentals in the town of Telluride as of today. So essentially what we're looking at is there are two different types of licenses that are going to be offered. There is your classic license. That's like what has always existed. It's unlimited. It's for anyone who wants to be able to short-term rent their property as they see fit. So nothing new there. But what has changed is that there will also be a limited license option. And this is for anyone who will only be short-term renting their property for up to 29 days per year. And this could be someone who lives in the residential zone, who is already really heavily regulated in terms of how much they can short-term rent their property. It could be someone whose property is their primary residence, so it's owner occupied and they only rent it for a week or two throughout the year as they travel. Or it could be for a second homeowner who just doesn't want the wear and tear of heavy rentals on their property, so they just choose to take advantage of higher earning weeks like Christmas or 4th of July, something along those lines. But the purpose of these limited licenses is basically to offer a fair license option for those who rent their property more lightly and don't want to be subject to the new regulatory fee. So to get into that fee, which was decided upon today, the new fee, this is in addition to the regular business license fees. And this is to cover admin costs. It's to go towards affordable housing funding. It's kind of for a more wide variety of purposes. But this fee will be $857 per sleeping room. And the only license, again, that's affected by this is your classic unlimited license. It's not perfect in my mind. I would like to see it be a little bit more equitable, just in the sense that, there are 2-bedroom, incredibly high-end luxury properties in town that garner a lot more income than a 2-bedroom original from the 70s unit at the base of Lift 7. But at the end of the day, I see this as kind of a choose your battles scenario. $857 per bedroom is not a ton of money, especially if it is a property that you are obtaining income from. I don't think it's going to hinder anyone from being able to do business or rent their property as they always have. So I'm comfortable with it. And a big reason why I'm comfortable with it is because I'm still celebrating the fact that we are releasing the cap on short-term rental licenses when it expires in November. I think that is wonderful news. I think that's the best case scenario because the cap just wasn't working. It wasn't doing what it was intended to do. It was causing harmful impacts to our community. So I'm happy to see that going away. I'm happy that we had this conversation, that we know what data to look at, that we know how to regulate this a little bit better in the future if it does become an issue. But we also know that it's not a significant issue. So that's where we are. And I'm happy. I know that a lot of people aren't, especially when it comes to the regulatory fee. But I think that this process from the beginning, from obtaining the study to releasing the results of the study to hosting open houses and having all of these meetings and collecting public input and getting more surveys out to the community based on public input, I just think that this entire process has been so open and inclusive and transparent. And that's just how you want to see your local government run. And I think at the end of the day, this is a major win for our community, not just because of the outcome, but because of how this entire process has been handled by town staff, by town council. I mean, I'm speaking as an individual. When I've made public comment, when I have spoken at these open houses, I felt like my voice was heard. I felt like I was being listened to. I wasn't always agreed with, of course, and that's fine. But I do feel like there was a reason for me to speak. I wasn't just speaking to deaf ears. I feel like our local government listened to the community when making these decisions. And that's huge. So I'm happy. I think we are at the end of this. I mean, unless something major changes, I don't think I need to make another video about this. I mean, what a wonderful thing to be able to say. So thank you for sticking with me for the last over 2 years. I'm happy we can start talking about other things. And of course, I'm always here if you have any questions.